The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Velus Jones now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Pierce takes it straight ahead, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
17.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he'll take this one down near the 15. On 2nd and 9, Tua. And And that'll be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Dameon Pierce, his intended target, out of the backfield. But now it'll be third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Koo knocks this one through the post. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The return is Jones from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of...
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And Oliver busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On third down, they go Montgomery. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Falcon football. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. We'll keep an eye on that game and others as each week becoming more important here in November. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. Okay. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Falcons at 7-3 now on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. A gain of 8 and a first down.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score Bears 7, Falcons 3. Cairo Santos kicking off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's going to have a Falcons first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Tua sets up to pass it. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tua. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Tua. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in press territory as well.
They got to push them real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons would extend their lead here just before halftime. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
A run by Pierce begins the second half.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Two is throw into the hands of Pickens.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Pierce now up the middle.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And Pierce gets it again on second down.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Going for it with Pierce.
And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On second down, a run with Patterson.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 36. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now Tua. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll go. It's Patterson.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Hey, man.
Tua now on 1st down. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
On 2nd down, Tua.
This ball caught by Mechie.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Kyle Pitts.
His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year.
And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield.
He's got room past the 30
and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Good catch and excellent creation of a big play downfield. I can guarantee you this. That's not a play this defense is practiced against in the days leading up to this game.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
That play disrupted and stopped for a loss by linebacker Troy Anderson.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Edwards. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after.
Pierce has it knocked loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. The broken tackle couldn't create a ton of space. He'll be taken down just beyond the 35-yard line.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Tagovailoa looking to throw it. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Give to Pierce. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So a win here for the Falcons, and it was a strong performance by Tua that helped lead the way.
Yeah, you had to like what you saw. He was on point the whole game. Wound up going over 300 yards with 3 touchdown passes. That will definitely get the job done.
So for Atlanta, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Commanders. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.